Today's episode is brought to you by Dilly Company. Are you looking for some cool, comfy pickleball gear and clothes for everyone? Dilly Company. Check out today's episode for a special promo code. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Don't Make Me Come Back There. We are a funny podcast about family. My name is Dustin Nickerson. I'm a stand-up comedian, the host. What? Sorry, I'm particularly distracted today. Of the aforementioned podcast, and alongside me in our state-of-the-art recording studio above Public Square Coffee in downtown La Mesa is my lovely wife and co-host, Melissa Nickerson. We're both out of coffee already. It's been a
one
day.
Of those days.
And our producer, Andy Lara.
Hey, Macarena.
Yeah. Tune into if you're one of our patrons, you're going to see a lot of behind the scenes. I think I'm going to put it on the Facebook group too of what's your favorite Hey song, but you can't. You got to join that group or join the Patreon. If you don't know a Patreon, you can get a little more of the pod, get a little more of the pod. Did some backstage meet and greets at Spokane and Seattle with the old. We're going to talk a lot about that today. What's going on your phone?
Well, we have a Patreon meet and greet. Well, excuse me, a Patreon Zoom hang coming up on Sunday.
There you go.
March 17th. It is also St. Patrick's Day, and we're having a meet and greet.
Yes.
No, a Zoom.
It's kind of a meet and greet.
It's a Zoom meet and greet.
It is a virtual meet and greet.
So there's a tier on our Patreon. They get to do that with us once a month. You also have lots of other benefits.
Yeah, check it out.
Yeah.
Check it out. Yeah, It's a good time. We like it. We, that's it. That's all I have.
Yeah, you can just go deep dive a little bit more with Dustin. What? Why is
deep dive with Dustin? No, it's my fault. My brain is really particularly scattered right now, so I got to stay on the outline.
Do you want to do some dates, or what do you?
I want to do some dates. Thank you. I needed your help there. We got lots of new tour dates on sale.
Deep dive with Dustin at a show.
Deep dive with Dustin at a show.
Don't leave me to my own devices.
It's my fault. We're distracted, and then I checked my phone right before we got on here, and then.
Well, I had to tell that story.
I forgot. I know you told the story, and I was like, "This is gonna be a boring story." So I got on my phone.
But
it was funny. It was for you too.
You left the room.
I left mentally, and then I forgot. I had posted a political clip, and then so I got into my comments, and so now I was like, right before I got on.
Reset your brain.
I did.
I
totally reset my brain. I watched people be like, "I'm unfollowing you," and you're like, "Oh, that's bad energy going into here." But.
Welcome, I'm Dustin. I just got unfollowed by someone on the internet.
Yeah, I got mad people. It happens.
Politics online?
I've said this many times before. Anyone who's willing to unfollow you over like a disagreement was probably never going to come buy a ticket to see you anyways. But anyways, here we go. Yeah. Speaking of buying tickets to come see me, upcoming, this just got added. Irvine. March 22nd, 23rd. I don't know if we announced this last week. I don't think it had been announced next week. Yeah.
We did. No.
That's next weekend. Not this coming, but the following weekend. Irvine Improv, 2 shows. Go check those out. Doing the club a favor, baby.
Yeah.
So go check that out. And then next month I'm in Syracuse and Rutherford, New Jersey. May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, Los Angeles, Hollywood Improv. Check that out. And then also I'm in May, I'm in Cheyenne, Wyoming, Fort Collins, June, Des Moines, Naples, Tampa, Dania Beach, San Diego, July, Rosemont, Chicago, Huntsville, Alabama, Nashville. And then after that, we've got Charleston, Charlotte. New dates added. August 29th at the Houston Improv, August 30th and September 1st. We just added Addison and Dallas. Seattle, you were so great, or Washington State, you were so great that we added our follow-up dates. I'm going to be back in Tacoma on September 6th through 8th, and then also Spokane's already on sale for next December, December 12th through 14th. Also Milwaukee Improv just got added, September 20th through 22nd. So lots of dates.
All right.
Go check it out. Don't unfollow me. Blah, 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 blah,
there were people that came to the Seattle show that already bought tickets to Tacoma.
That's very nice.
Very nice.
That's very, very nice. Also, please give reviews. This one is right here from the Pumpkinator.
Yeah.
5 stars. I listened to Mom. Melissa said to do it, and I do what Mom tells me to do. So there you go.
Thank you, Pumpkinator.
That's, as we've said on there before, you don't have to be funny. Just please leave a review.
Leave a review.
we would really, really appreciate that. So,
Mm-hmm.
anyways, we had a great weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, you had a great 30 hours. I was in Seattle. So this last weekend we were Mel and Dustin make their triumphal return to the Northwest, which we do 2 or 3 times a year. It's you know.
Well, it was a long time coming because you plan things like 9 months to a year out in comedy, and then it happens. And these shows sold out like a month ago, and that was kind of fun.
Both of them, Spokane and all the Seattle ones. Yeah.
I was only there on Sunday, but the early show was the one that was on sale first.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And you can kind of see that in like the fans that were on it.
Yes.
Bought the tickets immediately, sold out that first show, and then the second show.
Yes.
We're still like, okay, we're going to buy these quick. And then the Saturdays were the add-ons.
Yeah.
Which is fun.
And those were good too. Those all sold out, but it is,
you can tell.
You can absolutely tell.
Yeah.
And I can tell you in advance that, if you want to come to a show in the Northwest, they're probably going to sell out, you know, but that's why when we're doing Tacoma and Spokane next time, we're doing full weekends. So bunch of shows, lots of options. Check those out. We're making them earlier too, though. Even the Friday one in Tacoma is at 6.
Oh, great!
Yeah, I love a 6. I love a late show that's at 8:30. Oh, the dream.
Well, we started with Sunday at the Croc in Seattle, and we were like, okay, free parking. 6 or 7 or 6 p.m.
It was 6. Yeah,
6 p.m. show.
Free parking Sunday.
Yeah,
love it.
Pouring rain, but that doesn't stop Seattleites.
No.
If
not, they wouldn't do anything.
Like when it's pouring rain in San Diego, everyone stays home.
Seattle's, every time I go back, I was like, Seattle's the greatest city in the world. I love it so much. I don't want to live there, but it is great. It's wonderful.
The piers and the sound, like, it's phenomenal. And then
the Emerald City.
Then you see the mountain.
Yeah.
And then the green trees.
Here's what I like about as long as you don't need vitamin D. And then
the ferry. The ferry just kept going.
Yeah.
Like, it was so fun to watch.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Great. Love it so much. Every time you go back. Again, it was a job thing, and sometimes you just got to leave where you're from. But every time I go back, I'm like, it's great. Love it. Downtown's great. City's great. Companies are great. People are great.
We walked around on Sunday, like morning, afternoon, and it was pouring.
Yeah.
And I was using an umbrella, which most Seattleites don't, but I was using it like for the wind.
You remembered why, yeah. Well, that's part of the issue with an umbrella.
For the rain,
is
for the wind.
It's for the wind, yeah. That's why you just have your North Face, your little, your little zip.
Yeah.
And a little hood.
50s is really cold for me now.
Yeah.
Which is embarrassing.
The temperature 50. Melissa's not in her 50s.
But so I had this like full sweater.
Yeah.
That like went like pretty much covered my hands. And,
and
I could have used a turtleneck.
Yeah.
But as long as I was walking.
It's not just cold either, by the way. It's cold and wet. That combo is particularly. But you did settle in.
I did. Yeah. Well, yeah. I spent like 10, 15 years there.
Yeah.
And
you came in hot on Saturday, though.
I did. I got up at 5.
You were cranky. You were a cranky travel day.
So I had a full day of like kid duties. Like there was like a skin issue and doctors, and then everyone had an activity, and we got a pizza delivery. Like we were just lining everything up. Full day.
Yeah.
Like all the laundry, the house was all prepped for these children. And then my son, he came home from his track meet, and he was like, I expected you to be like really stressed out and running around. Well, thank you. I'm fine.
Ooh, never a great sign when when your kids are surprised you're not stressed. Like, wait a minute.
But I got him home, and then I like drove into the airport.
That's great.
Took a 8 p.m. flight to Seattle.
Yeah. Yeah, and you were getting on like as I was getting on stage and for a couple shows and
then you picked me up, so I was very tired.
Yes.
And the room was dark, and that made me I was I don't know. I was
You were
being very cheeky.
You're
snarky.
there's a little revisionist history
Yeah.
here, and that you're like, I was being cheeky. I was like, you were being cranky.
I was cranky.
Because cheeky's like, well, half smile, you
Yeah.
know?
There's like delusionally tired, and then there's like cranky tired.
Yeah.
And
I found it was
second tired.
The first thing Mel said when she got into our room is that it was outdated. And I was like, okay.
I said it's a little outdated.
Yeah. Ends up it was just dark. Ends up it was once you saw the sound, it
exactly.
It was pretty nice.
It was lovely.
Yeah, you know, Seattle is, not to get a little really sentimental here, but Seattle is like where we fell in love. And where our
young and in love.
Young, dumb, and in love. It's where we started our family, and it's where we went bankrupt and lost a home in the financial crisis, and where we worked for a mega church kind of / cult, and you know, a lot of special memories there.
Yeah, we had like $0
for
a lot of years.
A lot of old friends and family, and strained relationships, and old haunts, and you know, a lot of great memories and a lot of triggering thoughts.
When you leave a city, and we've been gone for like 12 years now, and you're just like, oh, I thought I'd like to work through this. Ends up I just left.
Yeah.
So here it is again. You know, that happens.
It does, and it's important, I suppose. I think, you know, a lot of people do it like at Christmas or whatever, like they go home and like all the old memes of going to like your hometown bar or whatever, and
returning to the place of trauma. That was kind of
but
the meme. But
thankfully, Seattle, you know, for us, it's got a lot to do, and you know, there are people you want to see, and then the shows are always great, you know.
There's like fun food that you return to.
I mean, we've never been able to have teriyaki that hits like it does in Seattle. The Seattle teriyaki, it's unbelievable.
Yep.
Love it so much. And even like, you know, like there used to be where like you can't get good coffees in Seattle. Good coffees everywhere now. And we did go to Anchorhead, and Anchorhead was good. It was, you know, but the particular teriyaki.
Pour-over machine.
It was nice. Yeah, they had a whole
triple pour-overs.
Yeah, it was really, really nice. Little robot pour over.
But no, I think like in San Diego, people get off the plane and get a burrito. Like if they are natives to San Diego and they don't live here,
right?
You know, they go to their taco shop. And for us, it's become chicken teriyaki.
Yaki, baby.
In Seattle.
Yaki me.
And I try and explain that to people down here, and they don't get it at all.
It's not
like, what's special about chicken teriyaki?
Well,
and I'm just like, well, it's nostalgic. I can't.
Well, it's also.
I can't explain it to you.
It's not as many as the taco shops down here, but teriyaki is so there. It's on every other corner. There's so much teriyaki in Seattle. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And they're pretty much all great. They all seem to have the same recipe. So
yeah, which is just very much like the taco stand. Yeah.
Went to the Kraken game on Friday before you got there with Abigail, who's Abby's great. Abby is Taylor's tour manager, but Taylor is not currently touring. And so Abby, who lives in Washington, was like, hey, do you want me to volunteer, come tour manage for you? And it's great. It was very helpful to have. And so we went to the game on Friday. We lost 0-3. I have been to 2 Kraken game now at the Climate Pledge Arena, formerly known as the Key Arena in Lower Queen Anne. We have lost a combined 1-6. I have seen 1 Kraken goal in 2 games. And when we scored that 1 goal, we were already down 3. So I have not seen a goal of stakes yet, like one that really mattered. But it's going to be great if it ever happens.
I guess you show me some videos. The production
at Kraken games is really great.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never been to any other NHL game, though, so I don't know what to compare it to.
I've been to a 1 goals game.
That's not NHL, though.
That's not NHL.
And generally, in high-end markets, like the entertainment at hockey games is top-notch.
Yeah.
Like Golden Knights in Vegas is insane.
Yeah.
Nashville Predators is insane.
Yeah.
Kings is great. Ducks are great.
Yeah.
All of that level, like Blackhawks are great.
Yeah.
But then you get into Canada and it's not as great, but the teams are way better.
Yeah.
So it's like sports intensity to the max.
Yeah.
And diehard fans, and It's if it couldn't be cold enough. They're like colder is better.
Right. Yeah, no, we got smoked by Winnipeg, and you're like,
Yep.
huh?
Yes.
I've been to Winnipeg, and it was.
I'm so impressed with hockey players. It's
unbelievable.
Impressive. It's so impressive. They're skating backwards.
Oh, yeah, so athletic. Have you seen the video where it's like hockey players doing football exercises and football players doing hockey exercises?
Oh, I'm sure the hockey players can do everything,
it's
right?
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like it's just, and the football players on ice is just funny as hell.
Yeah. It's. I remember talking to a friend who played in college, and because I don't know a lot of the rules, but I know enough about sports, and I asked him, I was like, what is the breakdown of how important skating is versus all the other hockey skills, like how you can handle the puck and your shot? And he's like, it's like 80-20. It's skating.
Yeah.
Skating is so important. Like, and that's what the thing, like, we can all, like I said, like, hockey is the sport of all the sports. Maybe I'll put gymnastics in this category too. I can't even do something that resembles your sport. Like,
no, they make it look so seamless.
I can shoot a basketball that you're like, that guy's playing basketball. And I can skate. I know how to ice skate, but like I don't what they're doing. That level, like I can make the moves that are a slower old man version of a running back and a wide receiver and a basketball. I can do a little crossover. I can throw a baseball. I can swing a bat. The way they turn or the way they skate backwards, it's unbelievable. They're so good.
Yeah.
The way that they're just skating on one foot and then catch a puck and then put it down. They catch them when they're too high. They'll just catch them with their glove, and it's crazy. They're so good. No,
I can't even see the puck.
That's why hockey. Okay, so what you just said right there in a second is why hockey's not more popular. It is a great live sport, but even then, it's hard to
track.
The way the part of the reason that football is so popular, it is so easy to know what's happening at all times.
Yeah.
You can usually tell who has the ball, you can see who's on offense and defense, and it's paced different. Like one play happens, break. One play happens, break. Hockey is like it's like oh. But even soccer pace is much slower.
Yeah, totally. Same. It's like similar layout and rules, but but it could compact it. If you took soccer and made it about a fourth of the size.
Yes, hockey. A soccer
ball.
A soccer goal. You can always see the soccer ball. You always know where the ball is, and it takes longer to score in soccer because the field is so much bigger.
Yeah.
A hockey goal can happen, and the other thing you don't get is you can't really you don't get the satisfaction of seeing it always go into the net. Right. You just conclude that it got into the net because you didn't really know where to look. That's why they're the only sport that whenever a goal actually happens, like a big light has to flash.
It happened
to let everybody know.
Yeah.
So anyways, it was great. And, as a Seattleite, the Sonics left because that arena wasn't up to code, which was so funny. It's the criminal. They got stolen in the middle of the night. But it's unbelievable. It's fun to see it kind of renovated because if you never,
that it's being.
I mean, it's a weird spot if you've never been to that spot in Seattle. It's like, it's Lower Queen Anne. It's like right fringe downtown. And just to have an arena just kind of built in right there. And it's like literally like under the Space Needle. It's great. It's iconic. It's wonderful.
Yeah, I was going to say it's like essentially connected to the Seattle Center.
Yeah, also if you're into vintage clothes, we went to Ghost Vintage in Seattle. It's very cool. Check it out. Had some ate at Dick's Burgers before the game. Fantastic. So thank you, Seattle, Spokane, for coming out to the shows. You were wonderful as always. Be back in the fall. Though I don't think when I'm in the fall I'll come to Seattle. Who wants to make that 40-minute drive? SeaTac is as terrible as ever. So once you get through security, it's a dream. It's a lovely airport. Went into Sub Pop, got a Polaroid picture taken at Sub Pop. I'm one of the quote unquote celebrities on the wall now at Sub Pop as a Seattle kid. I mean, come on,
rad.
Yeah, touch me, I'm sick. Sorry, it's a Mudhoney reference. Touch me, I'm sick. Anyway, so. Our flight back was pretty funny. So we get on a plane yesterday.
Monday at 11.
Monday at 11, cruising
Mm-hmm.
through the airport. Your mom was randomly in town, so we met up with Charlene.
Mm-hmm.
Dad had some passes here to sneak Charlene into the Delta Lounge,
Yep.
which I think Grandma Char really appreciated.
Her and I had some clam chowder.
Yes.
Yep. Some Ivers.
Why is it so awesome to run into someone at the airport? I don't know why.
Somebody you love.
Yeah, someone you love. There's also, I'm not going to name names, but there were a few people I saw on the streets of Seattle that I hid from. Mel needed.
I had that umbrella.
Mel, yeah, I was like, I can't, and I don't dislike you. I just don't have the time for this, And I've done that in an airport once or twice. But seeing your mom,
We've
that
all
was
done
great.
that. Yeah, no, it's like, this worked out. Like,
Yeah.
that was kind of we had 30 minutes and everyone got where they needed to be, and it was great.
Yeah, it's wonderful. She was like a much safer traveler than us too. That she got there way before us, and for a flight that was after us. But this amateur brought a water bottle in her backpack.
I did. Can't take me anywhere.
Can't take you anywhere.
Yeah.
Okay,
I forgot about it.
So on the flight, we had so in front of us there was a mom, a dad, and they had a baby, and then they had a 2-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
Mel and I know we've reached like full older kids era because we like to guess babies' ages.
Yes.
Like
just any child. I'm like, let me guess.
Yeah, like a circus trick.
We have a stand in Six Flags where we will guess your child's age. But we were off. I said like 15 months.
We were off. We were both way off.
We were off.
What I'm actually good at is telling you how heavy my suitcase is. That's what I'm actually good at. I can usually get it within 1 to 2 pounds.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
You did that with
I'll
both.
I'll do it with you right now. Let me lift you up.
Get in the suitcase.
And then Andy. Yeah. It has to be in my suitcase. I'm going to get charged. I think you're both over 70 pounds.
36 and 48. You were right there.
Yeah,
it was insane. It's fun. The row in front of us, a lot of times when people are going to San Diego, it's for vacation.
Yes.
And it's spring. And so we had baby in car seat.
Are we in spring?
Mom. March is right. Spring breaks happen in March.
What's the official day?
So
I don't know what the official day is.
You're probably right.
Because I think everything's just earlier because of the lunar calendar this year.
Oh, yeah.
Easter's earlier, daylight savings.
Yeah.
Spring forward's earlier.
I'm glad you mentioned
We just had daylight savings.
I want to get into that.
Okay.
We'll get back to your story in a second. I do want to get into that. I do feel like daylight savings is like a big middle finger to parents every spring.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, things...
And fall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, fall, it's great.
Because you get another hour?
Theoretically.
No, but it messes up little kids.
No, you're right. You're right.
Both times. And
Yeah,
that's
you're right.
Just like
the problem
traveling.
with parenting is you lose sleep
Yeah, that's
when
true.
it goes forward. In the fall, you get sleep.
That's
but
true.
You're not like an extra hour in your day.
Either
I don't know
way,
if I want that as
you're
a
right.
parent.
You're right.
Yeah.
No, either way, twice a
Gonna get
year,
shrimp stuff.
the American government gives a giant middle finger to parents with daylight savings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hey,
Suddenly, your kid doesn't want to go to bed or your kid doesn't want to wake up. And both of those are your problem.
mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's tough. It's really tough.
It is,
And-
because as an adult, I will not listen to you complain about daylight savings. It's an hour one way or another. Okay, get over it. Grow up. If you're a parent, I'm 100% with you because that child is on a tight schedule.
Well,
and your schedule is dependent on that schedule.
and you always forget about it.
Mhm.
And then you're like, oh, yeah, yesterday was daylight savings.
Yeah.
That's why we woke up at 5, and it's just a slog. It's,
It's
it
like
takes them like a week. It's 1 hour.
no, it's
And
someone.
it takes them like a week to get back.
No, it's
you know?
it's someone puts the fork in the microwave. It screws the whole meal up. And you had just started making progress. Like
Yeah.
you had just gotten back to school and we got into
Yes.
back to school and then
Yes.
boom. And now we're back from winter break. We got through January. We're cooking
Yeah.
along. Everyone's in a good routine and then
Yeah.
this is what it is that twice a year, every parent in the country is tempted to move to Arizona.
Yes.
The one place that
Mhm.
doesn't. Celebrate it.
Hawaii.
Yes.
Hawaii doesn't either?
Hawaii doesn't either.
Oh.
Oh, that's nice.
The one place you want to go and the one place you don't want to go.
Paradise.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Hawaii temptation has never been there for me. I mean, the occasional trip or whatever, but no, it sounds
You don't want to be
Too slow for you.
a little
Too slow for you.
Yeah.
stuck on an island.
Yeah, I also think I would feel, and people who I've talked to who've lived in Hawaii have felt that way. They've described it like, you know you're on an island, you know,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
in the middle of the ocean. Like, I don't know. I'm also stupid. I'm like, what if we just sink? How are we? Wait a minute.
My
Wait a
mind
minute.
goes.
Hold on. Why? How is this? Is this land touching the bottom of the ocean? How are we standing?
Are we floating?
Are we floating? Wait a minute. How does land sit on water?
No, the
How
volcanoes.
How's it now?
How active?
Something to do with volcano. How is this?
Is there a weight max?
Yeah. If too many tourists get here, are we gonna sink? Are we like?
buoys?
Are we? Are we like Bob? What is keeping an island afloat? I don't know. I don't know how land works. I assume this land just goes so deep it touches the bottom. Or God inflates it. I don't know if he just... It's helium. The air, what it is the ground is full of helium.
Oh, H2O. Helium. No.
Yeah,
That's it.
I'm a college educated man and an author and a professional communicator. If you ask me to explain why land happens, I got nothing. How did an island end up there? Sure.
Plate tectonic.
Yeah. And like maybe the flood. Yeah, it's something to do with plates.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pushing together, right? Oh yeah, they push them up. Oh, that's right. It pushes the bottom of the ocean got pushed up, right?
Yeah.
That's where land came from. It took me a second. Sorry.
I'm seeing diagrams.
Sorry.
There's science
That's right.
diagrams.
I forgot. That's right. The plates pushed up. Got it. There we go.
The only
So it is touching the bottom.
Yeah.
The bottom came up. I was right. I just am a dumb man.
We wanted you to get there yourself.
Melissa, I am so excited about our new sponsor, Dillyco, because I've been trying to get you to play pickleball for decades. This is not an exaggeration. And now you're willing to play in part because of Dillyco. They make such great gear. You're wearing it right now. What do you like about their gear, Mel?
It's comfortable.
So comfortable right now. I love it so much. It's a good fit.
Yeah, it's a good fit. It's good for everyone, young and old, and I'm ready.
It is very
I'm
hard.
comfortable, which I'm going to do something I'm uncomfortable doing,
Great.
and I'm going to give it a go.
And the gear helps. It is very hard to make pickleball or really any sport like gear that is good for everybody. Like all levels of skill, ability, body type, comfort level on the court, and Dillyco has done it. All this stuff is great.
Gear.
Yeah, it's great gear. They've got shirts. They've got some of their gear is really great. I really like their paddles. Specifically, I like the paddles because they're they're accessible. They're great paddles. Like they're officially pickleball approved, but they're not like too much. You don't want to be the person doing too much on the court. So if you guys go check out their website, thedillyco.com, and you use promo code BACKSEATER, you're going to get 10% off your entire order. So check it out. Go check out all their great gear, and we will see you on the court
That's right.
in your Dillyco gear. Dillyco!
Dillyco.
Dillyco. It's fun to say. It's very fun to say. Listen, I would have known all of this if it weren't for daylight savings. I'm just off.
Blame it on daylight savings.
Mel does know that is a pet peeve of mine when like people complain about daylight. I'm just feeling off. It's just that 1 hour. But I do forget that people are on routines. I've just never been on a sleep routine my whole life. Not even when I was a baby. No one put me on any sleep routine. So I've never been on one. So I've never, my bedtime has never been, it's always been within a 3-hour range anyway. Yeah. So sometimes I go
to like a 10-hour range.
When I'm traveling. But even when I'm home, I'm like, I might go to bed at 10. I'm not going to bed at 10. I might go to bed at 10:30, or I might go to bed at 1:30. Yeah. It's that range. So an hour off one way or the other means nothing to me.
Well, I actually, I would say that like I'm very routined, and
Yes.
and I can sleep on a routine, and so that's why if I go to Seattle and I land and I get to the hotel at midnight, I'm like
Loopy.
spicy, like
Yeah.
making comments I don't even mean. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm just like off.
Yeah.
But whereas you can like function with little sleep
Mm-hmm.
and not like yell at everyone constantly.
Well, you and I have talked about this before. And I don't mean this as like, I don't think this is a character flaw. It is harder for you
to not
to,
have the sleep.
well, no, bigger. It's harder for you to not, like,
Filter.
hold on, shut up. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's harder for you to not, like, whatever way you feel physically,
Affect
to
me.
not affect you emotionally.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
hungry, gotta pee,
Yeah.
tired.
Mm-hmm.
Right before we came up here, sun's in my eyes. Like, I can't. You get mad that the sun was in your eyes. I was like, and I'm like, hey, maybe just turn.
Well, that was.
But you don't always
the
give yourself the
irony.
solution either, because you're like, I have to pee, and I'm like, you've had 30 minutes. You could have peed any of these times. You don't know. That's an ongoing thing.
I wait.
You really do hold you're like changing the trash, and you're like, I have to pee. I'm like, well, pee before you change the trash. The trash is going to be there when you get out. I know the cat gets into it, but it's not going to get into it right now. That is an interesting thing about how you put off your pees.
Well, for me, when I got home from Seattle, I had to like clean for 45 minutes because I was like, you made food for yourself.
I was hungry.
And I was too, but I was
Yeah.
like, I can't sit.
That's what I'm saying. It's
yet.
harder for you to kind of see beyond the urge of your environment.
The weeds.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's what I always say. Get out of the weeds, Melissa.
Yeah.
Like
and that's how we didn't take the wrong suitcase home yesterday.
That is true. So thank you for that.
Because I was like, that tiny little ribbon is not
our suitcase. So it is great. It is, but it's also
in a relationship.
there was some video and some photos we did at the shows on Sunday, and I was like, what do you think of? I'm just like, I need your thoughts on this like shirt flannel combo, and I put it on. And you go, I think you need new jeans. And I was like, well, I'm asking about the shirt and because I can't get new jeans because I'm leaving for the venue in 8 minutes. So, and you're like, but the jeans. And it's like, look, get out of the weeds.
It's not what I asked.
Yeah. Get back up here with me.
No, that is classic me.
It's all right. It's a nice balance. At least you're focused.
Sometimes.
I can't believe people unfollowed me. Sorry.
So thank you for coming out, Seattle.
And Spokane. Don't you sleep on Spokane like that. How dare you?
I don't make it to Spokane often. And some of the folks out there want me to be there.
A lot of them, and it's getting pretty annoying. Where's Mel? All right, I'm the comedian here.
I do think it's funny.
That's the best laugh.
That's so sweet. And also, one person, if I come to a show, says, do you go to every show with Dustin?
Yes. And those people don't know how families work.
This was such a compromise trip because I was trying to fly out Sunday morning.
Yes.
Given what I knew was going to be the kids' schedules. And so.
Well, as much as I fly, a lot of times we all forget about the option of a night flight. Sometimes that's the move.
Mm-hmm.
Flights, they leave 8, 9 p.m. sometimes. It's great. It's usually a pretty chill flight.
It is nicer than like an early morning flight.
Oh, yeah. Well, and I've told you, to me, the worst flight in the world is the midday flight because a flight, like when the sun goes down while you're in the air, you're like, oh, gosh. It's just like I felt like I'm up here a whole day. I saw the day change tonight.
Yeah, you're watching the sunset in the sky. You're like, ugh.
And then you land and it's like 7, but it feels like 11. You're like, oh, my gosh, I
lost a day.
I lost a week up here. Anyway, so we sat in front of us. We had a dad in the one seat in front of us, and then a mom had the whole row for her baby, and then a 2-year-old.
Baby was in the window. Mom was in the middle.
Yeah.
2-year-old was in the aisle.
And this is not an ad, but there's this new thing called Jet Kids.
Jet Kids? Yeah. Okay. Let me make sure I'm getting this right. But maybe Andy knows about this. But we didn't travel very much with our babies and toddlers. I know a lot of people do.
Yeah.
We were like the road trip
That's
family.
it. Jet Kids right there.
It's by Stokey. I don't know. So it's called a bed box. And you see kids.
I've seen these in the air. Okay, so I've seen
kids sit on them, and then their parents like pull them.
Yes. So there you go.
Mm-hmm.
So is there going to be one of these things that's like a multiple picture of it? So they okay, so there you go. See them riding. There's like one of the perks, I suppose. This is hold on.
Andy.
Scroll up real quick. That's a private jet.
So pay for the private jet in this bed box.
This should have been at the airport.
Mom's in all white.
Okay, so
which is a big flex.
Okay, so watch this video here. So this is
this is on Amazon, but yeah.
So this is they come. I thought this was just like a suitcase that kids had that they could like carry, and I was like, oh, that's really handy. Your kid can ride on their suitcase because they also
kids always try and ride on our suitcases.
Yeah, it's wheels.
And
okay,
yeah.
So now we watched this lady doing this, and then I was like, well, what's coming out of this whole scenario? Oh, look, there's a pad. Oh,
have you seen this, Andy?
No, I've not.
Okay, so she's attaching the pad.
This is the first time the mom.
We watched this whole situation happen. She's attaching the pad to the suitcase or to the airplane chair, laying down a little blanket. Now we got the little iPad, and then they put their feet up on because it attached. So their feet go up on the seat where the kids' feet are right there. Mm-hmm. Then it's like, oh, now your kid can kind of like lay down. Now the kid's laying down. Mm-hmm. And if your kid's small enough, now it has like a full little bed. The pad, the whole situation.
So there's a pillow in there.
Yeah.
And a blanket and like a mini mattress.
A little mini mattress that you can put on there.
And then you can buckle them if you need to. This child, okay, first of all,
we watched this mom set it up, and it took about 5 minutes. It's a lot of, but it's
so this is like a $230 product. But they didn't have a stroller. No, they did have a stroller. Did
they have a stroller?
Well, they had a stroller for the baby, the infant.
Yeah.
But this was a 2-year-old. It was like their nap time.
Prime nap time is what she said. We were like, we watched her she was out in front of us. So we watched her set the whole thing up.
They crushed it.
She was doing great.
This whole bed thing, the toddler did like 5 activities before the plane took off.
This mom was trying so hard.
She had the stickers. She had the
coloring.
Multiple coloring sets. And I was like, they're on their 5th activity. The plane hasn't even taken off.
The captain was like, we're going to push back here in about 10 minutes. I'm like, oh, man, you're 5 activities deep.
What else you got in the box?
Yeah, exactly.
Bed comes out.
What's in the box?
And then the mom puts on headphones, and I was like, wow, she's just going to do her own thing. No, she's pairing the headphones to the iPad.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then she had all the gadgets. She had a portable noise machine. The baby's on an airplane.
That was the funniest thing. So the baby lays down and then she puts a little portable noise machine. And you're like, you ever been on a plane?
It's white noise.
I think white noise is based on airplane noise. I think that's one of the options on your setting is airplane noise.
A 2-hour flight. The baby did not sleep.
That was the best part. So she sets this whole thing up. Baby lays down, blanket, pacifier goes down. Baby didn't close their eyes for 5 minutes.
Then the iPad came out.
And then she hands them the iPad. And I was like, well, now it's just a comfy iPad watch, which is nice.
So now the iPad's on mom's tray, so the baby can look at it. Mm-hmm. This is like the 2-year-old. And then this like circular box. It's not a box. Well, it's a circular tray comes out that has 4 compartments for baby's snacks. Mm-hmm. I mean, this kid.
Yeah.
This was all in the box?
Lap of luxury. So it pops up one side for each snack.
Mm-hmm.
She had it all.
It was unbelievable.
She had it all.
Yeah, and I was like, you should have just given that kid a Benadryl. That would have been a lot cheaper.
What we did is just introduce our son to Sprite.
Well, that did the opposite thing, but no, it was
have the Sprite.
It was amazing to watch how far like the technology had come. And I mean, our parents would say the same thing about us,
Yeah,
about
I
how much it
remember-
changed.
I remember our parents being like, "You can lay a baby on the floor on an airplane."
Yeah.
They're like, they can sleep on the floor.
Yeah.
And
They're probably right.
and they're not wrong.
No.
And you're like, I don't know, the baby's like rolling around on the floor, but
Yeah.
anyways, yeah,
Put in like a little roll around baby.
the vibrations
It rolls-
from the plane.
No, it rolls to the row behind you and they just push it back. Just a little gentle push back.
With your driving, I mean, the turbulence is their white
Oh
noise.
man, gosh. Speaking of people unfollowing me, people got so mad over that clip.
But I was just really impressed. This stuff has come a long way.
It's really impressive.
Mhm.
Also,
And I have seen the babies in the airport riding these things, and I didn't know what it was.
I didn't either. It
I had
is
no
impressive.
idea. There's
It's
a
great.
pillow in there.
It seems like a great invention, but also at the end of the day, what we were watching was it hit us because I'd got my complimentary upgrade to Delta Comfort, and they had bought a ticket for the baby, and they had that, and I was like, oh, this family's rich.
Yeah, because
if you buy a seat for your baby,
an
you are
infant under 2 is
That's a
is
free
free
ride.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's a free ride, baby.
now we've also seen like the toddler, like the 1-year-old who they bought the seat for, and then they cry the whole time.
I know.
Because they don't want to be stuck in the seat, and
No.
it's a big lap belt. It's like a whole thing. And,
Yeah.
And then you're like, just pick the baby up.
Listen, I'll walk with your baby.
It's tough. It's tough.
I saw
No matter what.
I saw an old woman on like it wasn't even that old. An old woman who was like you reach a certain age where people will start walking the plane on longer flights,
Yeah.
and I
Mhm.
respect that.
Mm-hmm.
But she was getting up and she was like hitting her leg as she walked too. Just like kind of just like every hit just up and down the aisle.
What if you saw someone like lunge?
And then she was like, and then
just a full yoga
and then she was
stretch.
doing this kind of stuff as she was like,
You're like,
I
"We
was
don't
like,
have space up here
yeah,
for that."
it's a long flight, but I'm also like, all right, I probably should do that, but I care about what other people think about me.
Right.
That seems a little cringy. But anyways,
So shout out to that baby bed.
shout out to that baby bed.
Mhm.
You also, okay, so we have a couple bingo dingos. We saved some topics for next week. Listen, we are good podcasters.
Oh, I watched a movie on the plane.
Yeah, we got we got an email and we got
yeah.
some bingo dingos to do.
Okay.
So, one, Mel and Dustin's review of the Oscar films. I didn't see a single one.
No.
No,
No.
I don't.
Mm-mm.
The Oscars are just a thing that parents are like, who won? That guy from that
What's
movie I
that?
watched before I had kids? Oh, Iron Man won. Cool. Did you see Oppenheimer? No, I didn't have a spare 3.5 hours. Oh,
No.
it's about Oppenheimer? I bet I know how it ends.
I did not have time to watch these movies,
No.
and I did not watch them.
No. If I couldn't watch them with my kids,
Yeah.
couldn't watch them.
Mhm.
We didn't definitely bomb.
Heyo.
Hmm.
I didn't. I was like, oh, did Barbie win? Did any of the ones I saw with my children win? So that's my Oscar review.
It's a non-review because
I didn't watch.
I didn't
don't-
watch the Oscars. I didn't watch the movies.
What what weird one was the redhead in? Emma. What was Spider-Man's girlfriend in? She did one of her weird art ones, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hypothetically.
It's how it's honestly like Giamatti was in one, old guy from Sideways, back when I watched movies before I had children. Watching the Oscars as a parent is just it's just remembering actors from
And you
back
can't
when you
remember-
could watch movies.
And you can't remember their names. You're like, that one guy.
Sideways
That one guy from Spider-Man.
from the wine movie, who was also in Spider-Man, by the way. Yeah,
True.
yeah,
You mean the guy from Wings?
yeah. Wings.
From Wings? No, the other guy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Which Spider-Man guy from Wings are we referencing here?
That should be
Wings
under
is
their
such a
their name.
Yes.
Spider-Man guy from Wings.
Yes.
Oh, him.
Yeah. You reach a certain age as like a boomer and a parent that you're just referencing them based on what superhero movie they're one. Okay. So Iron Man beat Iron Man 1 and Spider-Man's girlfriend 1? All right. Oh, Scarecrow won too?
That's great.
Oh,
the guy that
Peaky Blinders.
Oh yeah. Oh, the guy that made Dark Knight and Scarecrow won? Great. That's great. Glad to hear that for them.
20-year-old movies.
Oh,
that I saw.
So Scarecrow beat Rocket? Beat the raccoon? Scarecrow beat raccoon? Thanks for the update. And Spider-Man's dead girlfriend won. She didn't live. It is funny how you...
And the Dune girl.
Big night for Scarecrow and Spider-Man.
I was trying to get Zendaya in there.
Which one of Spider-Man's girlfriends won? Was Zendaya nominated? I don't think she was
Sorry,
nominated.
Zendaya's in Dune 2 that just came out, but that's not. I don't know. I don't even know what award show it was, but
yeah.
Anyway.
How many of Spider-Man's girlfriends is going to be up this year for an award?
Yeah. Anyways, so but you watched.
But I did.
You did watch.
I watched The Holdovers on the plane, and I watched it on the way up, and then I finished it on the way back, and I was crying in my seat.
You're crying on a plane.
It's a really good movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got like a teen and like an old man and a grieving mom. It's great. I don't want to like spoil it, but 5 out of 5 bingo dingos.
Bingo
it's great.
dingos,
It's
great.
A great movie.
I'm sure they all are. Yeah.
I don't. It's a little slow. I don't think kids are gonna love it. I mean, it's rated R. So
I don't think it was.
No, but I meant like.
Oh yeah, I don't think it was ever marketed as a child.
Sorry.
Children.
No, I just. This is not a There are families who could watch this.
Yeah.
For sure, but it's a little bit like Lady Bird, which is about like a high school girl.
Yeah.
And this is about a high school boy.
Which I also didn't see, but
I watched that on a plane as well, like
great.
a year later, after maybe 3 years after it came out. Yeah. That's when I watch movies.
I'm gonna watch
6 months.
I'll watch Oppenheimer at a certain point. It's just.
You need 3 hours.
Yeah, I need 3 hours.
Just,
and you didn't like it.
Piecemeal it.
Slow.
Together.
Too slow for you?
I mean, my actual critique is I don't think it paces great the way like Christopher Nolan paces his other films. So that it's a film critique. Like I think it's shot great. All the background work that it is amazing, but it did not grab me the way that almost everything else he's ever done did.
There you go.
So that's just I watched it. I'm like,
yeah,
I get it, but I don't.
It's no Kung Fu
like
Panda 4.
It is not. They should have put Jack Black in there. It would have changed everything.
I mean, isn't that the truth? We also, this is not really bingo dingo, but we went and saw Group Love last Tuesday. Fantastic, great show.
Observatory.
If you do know a Group Love song, it's Tongue Tied. Take me to your best friend's house. That one. And it was a great show, live show. A lot of dancing. It was fun. It was great.
We got a lot of steps in.
We
were jumping.
Well, I also made the mistake of having Mel look up the concert time. And she's like, it's at 7. I was like, that seems early. I don't
know why that was my job. But
I know.
Like, no, the website said 7.
I know, live events. This was my fault. Yeah, website said what? So what did 7 mean? Doors are at 7. Yeah. First band's on at 8. Group Love's on at 9:05. 9:05. So you're like, okay, so I guess we'll just sit here and talk for 2 hours, which was nice.
And then we
had a beer, and then a face comes up, and I was like, who's and he goes, Dustin, and I go, yeah, it's Tim Foreman from Switchfoot. And then him and his awesome son, we talked to him for a while. And then after the show, after we were all dancey, we walked out and we were going to go get a street hot dog. And then John Foreman was there, who I'd never actually met. Or I'd met either of them. And we all talked for a while. I was like, you met Tim at a Nate show, right?
Nate show at the fair. Yes. So
San Diego icons, man. Switchfoot, baby.
Yeah.
That
was
great riffs of all time.
That was one of those stay in the room at the hot dog stand, like in the sense that you're like, oh, I grew up with your
music.
if
you were anywhere around, like, I mean, Switchfoot was huge anyways.
Yes.
But if you were in church circles in the early 2000s, I mean, Switchfoot was
on the radio.
No, I didn't play on the radio. Those were gigantic hits.
No, but like,
dude, Dare You to Move was unbelievably huge. Yeah.
But I mean, like 10 years later, after it came out, it was still playing like all the time.
Mhm.
And then
It's still playing.
Yeah, it's still playing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Meant to
Yes.
Meant to Live.
Meant to Live was
Yeah.
just playing on somewhere with the TV.
Yeah.
You're like, oh,
Mhm.
I was like,
One of the great opening riffs of
Yeah.
all time.
And then
so
that,
good.
And then that Mandy Moore movie came out.
Right,
in
which is
high
originally
school.
his song, right? And then she
And-
yeah.
And so that was like, oh man, this was like
Gone
our
was a big
demo,
hit, you know.
So that was crazy.
It's great.
Yep. But they if you never meet your heroes or like they were amazing.
They're nice and
really down to earth.
Also,
people.
John's like solo stuff is really good
yeah,
too.
John's solo stuff is great.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
anyways, that was fun. So, okay, we have a email and then we're
Okay.
out of here. Okay, so
Great.
this was sent to dontmakemecomebackthere@gmail.com.
Okay.
This is from Kelly. Dustin and
Kelly.
Melissa. I've been a fairly regular listener to the pod over the last year and became a patron at Christmas. Thanks, Kelly. Since listening to you talk about ADHD, I've realized some similar situations in my oldest daughter and challenges she was having at school, especially inattentive types flying under the radar. Turns out she does have inattentive type ADD. This has also led me to the realization that my husband is also most likely inattentive ADD.
Mhm.
Something about knowing this just feels reassuring. There's nothing wrong, just brains wired differently. Anyways, I'd love some bad advice on dealing with kids and family when it comes to ADHD. Thanks. I'm going to go first here. Ready?
Okay.
Bad advice. Argue with your kids that have ADHD. I've realized this recently. I've been reading, watching TikToks, and reading a little bit. So the problem with arguing with someone with ADHD and in particularly a child with ADHD is we like it. It gives us a dopamine hit. It really kind of like
Gets going.
it makes us angry, but not in a way we don't enjoy. So it's kind of fun being kind of sparring and combative. So it's giving us chemicals that we like, which means like, so last night, Gloria was trying to get it in, like trying to get into it with me.
Yeah.
And that's two ADHDs who want to go to battle. And I just wouldn't do it. I kept calm, and I kept telling her, I was like, I kept saying, I'm not going to argue with you. And she would just keep coming and make her case. And I was like, I understand where she would just keep going. It's like, I'm not going to do this. I'm not. And you ever do that thing where you do you ever do that thing where you handle a parenting situation absolutely perfectly and you do everything that you're supposed to? And at the end, you're like, I wish I would have done that wrong, because it's more fun. It's a little more fun to go up and ride and like just ride. But like I did kind of handle it exactly like you're supposed to, maybe for the first time in the history of my 17 years of parenting. And it didn't end like, there's no winning in an argument, obviously, with your kid. It didn't end in some beautiful hug or I understand where you're coming from, Dad. But it did end, and you just kind of held your ground, your main point. So my bad advice of parenting someone with ADD is argue with them. Just because you're definitely not going to excite them, and you're definitely not going to, you're definitely going to win.
Go in with the mindset of winning.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. Win the argument.
Yes, 100%. So that's mine. What do you got?
Well, my bad parenting advice for ADHD is just like unlimited sugar and screens.
Which goes for all parenting, really, yeah.
And then like no sleep schedule. No exercise.
Yes.
But with an inattentive, it's a little different. Yeah. Because they're just daydreaming.
Yes.
Right? So.
Got a lot to think about, man.
Yeah.
Who's going to think about all this stuff? Yeah,
So I guess just like, don't be creative and don't be consistent.
Don't be regimented.
And do what they want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. In that moment.
I also have got to. This is actually a legit. Another one is if you have a homework resistant child, just like yell at them to do their homework. That always works. It's very effective.
Well, one thing about ADHD that kind of goes under the radar is like how much of an emotional regulation like issue.
Yeah.
Like that used to be in the diagnostic and it's not there anymore.
Interesting.
I don't know. So
Yeah.
expect them to not be emotional. There's some bad parenting advice.
Yeah.
For ADHD.
If I were to give good advice to someone who, if you have a homework resistant like ODD child, would be to one thing that is very helpful is to kind of like let them choose the order of what you're gonna do, or like.
Yeah.
We've been kind of like setting up like Claire,
Vibe.
like we'll set up what we call a homework vibe, but like we'll light a little candle, put some music on. You can put your little things out here. Give you a little snack, something like that. Just anything. And then she'll have 5 sheets and like she has to do the 5 sheets or whatever. And be like, well, which one do you choose the order you want to do these?
Yeah.
In?
And break it down.
Smaller
tasks.
It's helpful.
Yeah.
And then when it gets to like area and perimeter stuff, call in Mel, because you tried to explain to me yesterday, and I was like, listen, I'm 40, I don't need it.
Yeah, I was like, why am I trying to teach you?
You started to try and teach it to me, and I was like, Mel, I don't.
I was like, it's a fence.
Yeah.
It's.
Yeah, I don't. It's great.
Oh, now I get it.
I regurgitated the information that I needed to when I passed this, and my brain has not needed to know how to calculate area since then. I'm not a carpenter. I don't install flooring. I don't do any of the things that require this whatsoever. So.
And I just got a bunch of dumb formulas in my brain.
Which is great. So I can, listen, the English stuff, crush it with Claire. I'm coming up with synonyms. I'm helping her give her creative ways to memorize her words, with vocab. I'm crushing it in there. And I can get through a decent chunk of math. But once there's certain stuff, I'm like, all right, they're doing metric system right now. And I understand that everyone
I've taught that to 2 children.
Yes.
Yeah, this is my 3rd metric really 4th.
Yeah.
Staircase.
Yeah, there's how many kiloliters or kiloliters? What?
Little L or big
Anyways,
L?
I need another kiloliter of coffee. Thank you, everybody. Have a great week.
Thank you. Bye.
Hey, folks, just want to give a special thank you to our As Essential as Oils patrons. That's our $25 a month and up level of patron. Thanks so much for giving to the pod and getting a little more. You are Averill Griffiths,
Adam Bush,
Allison Nelson,
Bonnie Galindo,
Carrie Teague,
Caroline Crimmins,
Code 2 Grow,
Courtney Eibling,
Demarius Diaz-Stevens,
Dan O,
Dave and Melissa Cox,
Dave Hoagland,
Dustin Daly,
Jason and Francis White,
Jessica Hanrahan,
Joshua and Nikki Platt,
Jordan Cowan,
Juliana Smith,
Lori Amos,
Matt and Sam Slosdom,
Michelle Carlson,
Nathan and Jennifer Merritt,
Nicole Carraz,
Rachel Wilson,
Rachel Kennedy,
Robert and Nellie Capen,
Stephen Menya,
and Tiffany Payne.
Thank you so much, everybody.